The moment you open up the forest, you're greeted by a beautiful piano piece composed by Gabe Castro. This OST builds up into a swell of intensity, like something you would see at the climax of a movie, where everything has just gone to absolute shit. But here, instead, it's the moment you open up the game, preparing you for what's to come. I shit you not, this OST single-handedly creates the entire mood of this game, and makes me pumped to loading this game every goddamn time. Hey Weary Travelers, my name's Atrodius, and I hope you're having a pleasant day. Now let's talk The Forest. The story begins with our protagonist, Eric, and his son Timmy on a plane before it mysteriously crashes. We awake to find that all other passengers are either missing or presumed dead, and before us, our son is being kidnapped by a man covered in paint or blood. We then must survive on this island amongst cannibals and deformed monstrosities called mutants, until we can unravel the secrets of the island and find our son. Once we discover a keycard that leads us to a secret laboratory, we find our son in a mysterious machine, dead. But, after hooking him up to a table, our hope is reignited as the monitor tells us we need a live sample to perhaps bring Timmy back to life using the mysterious machine. In the next room, we find the man that took our son at the start of the game dead via multiple stabbings in the face from pencils. Later, we find the man's daughter, Megan, alive and well, but it looks like she just ate a peanut butter jelly sandwich and she has an extreme nut allergy. We do what must be done and take her out, to only find out that she must be alive to perform the procedure. But, after a deeper exploration of the facility, we find a second artifact and the reason our plane crashed at the beginning of the game. A choice is to be made: do we continue the cycle to save Timmy or let Timmy die? After a deep examination of ourselves, we conclude that we don't give a shit about anybody else. So, the selfish choice is made. We continue the cycle, then one of the dopest cutscenes ever plays out. Holy shit, I could feel that plane flying past me in my bones. This cutscene is so cool. We then fast forward a few years, not sure how long, but Timmy looks to be in around his 20s, and he's looking not so well as it seems he is fighting off whatever the machine did to him every day, but he's older and wiser, and now he wants answers. First off, let's start by saying how freaking amazing this story is. This game had no right, absolutely no right to have such a deep, clear, concise story. Everything is presented perfectly. Every cutscene, like there's not many cutscenes, but every single one of them will have you glued to the screen. Except for this one. We don't talk about this one. Even though it doesn't explain where the artifacts come from, or how they even do the things they do, at least it explains where the mutated beasts we meet throughout the game come from, and it actually is really freaky to me that the cannibals, on the other hand, have always existed here, and have just learned to live with the mutated creatures, covering themselves in paint and such to blend in. But now the question of where this story is going to go, because as you see throughout the game, we see lots of stuff pointing to this religious group that is all but wiped out by the time we get there. Are they the ones that really know what the artifacts are? Just by the name for the forest to Sons of the Forest, I have a feeling it will be tackling this group rather than the Sahara research group, but only time will tell. The Forest gameplay is a very standard survival open world that you will have come to be used to if you have played any other games like this. Melee combat feels purposeful and fluent. If you have played Dying Light, for example, it'll feel like a less clean melee combat experience, which is a very impressive feat when you realize that this game was made by 4 developers. A ranged weapon, on the other hand, takes a realistic approach, only giving you the crosshair that is on the actual weapon. So if you're using like a bow, for example, you only have like a twig sticking out as your crosshair, which can take a bit of learning. Then the spear, on the other hand, will have you literally staring at the ground to hit your target. But once mastered, feels good because certain enemies such as deer will go down in one spear instead of using 2 arrows to take it out. Building, on the other hand, is a bit 50-50. Sometimes I really enjoy myself, but then other times I want to cut down a tree and let it fall down on me. Luckily, the game lets me do that. Building in this game is like real life building. The planning is extremely fun and you can't wait to see the creation come to life. But then the building part requires you to cut down 500 trees for 5 hours, only to realize this game has shit all furniture and you're better off just building a hunting shelter and living in that for the entire game. One thing I most definitely can't gloss over is the way this game handles inventory management. I love this method of inventory. It's just so beautiful to look at. It's honestly the best inventory screen since like Resident Evil 4 cases. Where this game really shines though is in its caves and the final laboratory. Once this game takes a more linear path, it really begins to come together. And this is where I found myself having the most fun. Don't get me wrong, I adored exploring every nook and cranny of the overworld my first time. But then it's just boring. This just isn't quite enough to sink your teeth into. And as it ends up just being the boring area you walk around to get to the fun stuff. Maybe if the villages had something more to do in them, such as you needing to clear them out or something along those lines. It also doesn't help that you can pretty much spin in a circle and see every animal in the game spawn before your eyes, with a few exceptions such as the raccoon spawning only in a certain area. Also, if the game had a more diverse environment, I'd probably be happier because all we have here is, well, forest and a snow biome that has nothing to do in it. It doesn't even have any unique animals to find, and the snow covers an entire quarter of the map. Holy shit, what is that? If only more stuff like this was in the game. It's insane to me that this monstrosity only spawns after spending 40 days in game, and even after that amount of time, it's extremely rare. Just to understand, a day and night cycle takes roughly 36 minutes to complete, so that would mean you have to play this game for at least 24 hours to be able to even see this guy once. And in my 126 hours of this game, I've only ever seen this guy twice. The 100% for this game is not hard. It will just involve an insane amount of patience. I feel like I've cut down 1,000 trees. Like, why is this trophy not popped yet? What? I have to do it in one sitting. And I can't use a chainsaw. The only trophies even worth mentioning are Don't Save the Forest, Trophy Hunter, Bad Father, and Vegan. Don't Save the Forest had me cutting down trees for 4 hours in one sitting, and to make things even worse, the chainsaw for some reason is bugged for this trophy. Thankfully, you can do this in creative. The only reason Trophy Hunter is on this list is because of these goddamn ducks. I don't even know how long I spent trying to kill a single duck, and they just kept on flying away. And I could not for the life of me hit them out of the air. And even when I did, it would fall straight into the lake, meaning I couldn't even pick it up. Bad Father is on here because it requires me to spend 60 hours doing literally nothing. Because there just isn't enough content in the game. Yes, you can reduce this time by sleeping through the night, but by the end, I had built literally everything you could build and explored every pixel of walkable area in the game by, I want to say, like day 70. But then, I still have 30 more days to go because I need to get to 100 days without finishing the game, and then also, if I die, I have to do it all again. Are you f***ing serious? Vegan requires you to just play through the game, never eating any meat or killing any animals. This trophy would be fine if it wasn't so easy to kill an animal by accident. Is it a bird? Hope not. Are you... Are you kidding me? This is bullshit. Did you see that shit? That's rigged. That's rigged. I repeat, rigged. Rigged. The 100% for this game is fine, I guess. I just can't help but think it's just so freaking boring. And I think they could have done just a little bit more with some of the trophies. So honestly, I wouldn't recommend going for the 100% unless you're a completionist like me. But by God, if you have any interest in games like this at all, just play it. It's great. A casual playthrough of this one can take you a long way, and is made even better with the fact that the entire experience can be played co-op. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, that's all from me. You know what to do, all the likes and subscribes, check me on Twitch, and as always, stay weary everyone.